All right, hello everybody. It's been a while since I did a live trade video, and I thought I'd get back to doing these kinds of videos because they are good for instruction and for learning to trade without seeing the right part of the chart. And as we all know, tomorrow is the election, and a couple people were asking about should they trade before election or wait? And there was some interest in this, so I thought I'd make a pre-election trading video and see how it goes. My expectations are, usually markets go sideways right before an election because of if it's indecisive, who the candidate will be as the victor. Markets can just go sideways, so it could be a challenging day to trade. So, but I'm up for the challenge, and we'll see if we can squeeze out some profit, or we'll see what happens, or if we're just going to sit and wait, and maybe there won't be any great opportunity. But I chose Nasdaq. I'm going to watch Nasdaq because Nasdaq is has more volatility than the E-mini, S&P, or the Dow Jones, and so if there is to be some profit to be made, probably Nasdaq is going to be the more liquid and volatile instrument. So anyway, I'm going to start today with the pre-market. It's almost 9 o'clock in the morning. And so usually the first thing I want to do before I start trading for the day, and I've done this before, is I want to draw some lines here, kind of get an idea of, the tops and the bottoms. So I'm going to do this because these two intersect here. So this is a good level of support, and I'm going to say this is some level of resistance. Here we got two tops here. This is yet another zone here. That could be drawn going forward this way as well. Just to give an idea of kind of the parameters of where price can go and maybe get stuck or not. The other things that I'll point out is the previous trading day, Friday, we had a lot of here buying, we had a lot of selling, then we had a downward trend here and popped back up in the Sunday after market hours, and so price is kind of going this way. So we're going to see, is it going to trend in one way or the other? Is it going to continue going horizontally? Right now we don't have much volume, so there's not much more analysis to be made. So I will wait until the market opens and then come back and we'll see what happens. All right, so we're back now. Markets have opened. We hit against this support line that I drew. We dipped under it and then shot back up. We had quite a bit of demand here, 405. I was thinking of getting in here after this minus 87. I just didn't really like the lackluster. Here the buying seemed kind of weak right here. Usually I like when everything adds up and there's a lot of confluence, but I guess it's a pre-election day, and so maybe we are to expect these kind of mediocre kind of setups. So I was thinking of entering here, but I didn't really want to because it just didn't fall in line with the points of confluence that I want. But I guess there was, some points to bang out from that setup. Just not exactly what I wanted. And also, we see a drop in buying in the MBox histogram here, but we see an increase in the cumulative delta now. And we got this buy and balance 25 with the pullback. But what I didn't like about this here is that at this 25, we see that the buying is decreasing and we are flatlined here. So I don't think that's an ideal entry. And I guess it's not, price went below it. So if I would have gone in here, would have been stopped out. See, the indicators will save you, just things are not lining up. Stay out of the trade. All right, so I'll put the record on pause and come back a bit later. All right, so now we have some action. I decided to enter a long position right about here. I'm concerned that there's may not be many opportunities today, and it could just zigzag. And I see that the histogram is going flat here, and it's kind of also this. So I'm thinking maybe I can bang out a few points. We'll see. I mean, I still think that it's a bullish sort of bias here, just because we had all this demand and this buying, and price sort of is going up. This isn't a gold standard 10 points of confluence trade. This is a, I would say this is a mediocre setup, so it could go either way. But at this point, minus 81, why did I decide to go in? Because I saw that this is going a little up, the cumulative delta buying. This is flat, the histogram, so it's neutral. I saw that, we do have still stronger demand than supply. We got the 162, and these jabs down, minus 87, minus 81 are weaker. Then the other thing that convinced me to go in is I saw this strong control dot. And, that gave kind of an edge to the long position, in my opinion, here. So the difference between this 25 with the pullback, which is yet another point that we are somewhat bullish. But again, the reason why I didn't go in here is because we were on the decline, the buying, and at the minus 81, we're actually ascending, kind of ramping up. So these are like small nuances, but I feel they're important. The other thing that supports the long position, I would say, is that the selling here, the cumulative delta dries up, and it dries up in the MBox histogram. So even though the buying is weak, we still have more buying than selling. And I put my take profit here, which is a resistance area. So we'll see if this trade works out or not. It's not a fantastic trade, but I figure I don't know if there's going to be any good opportunities today, so I thought might as well take it and see what happens. So I'll put the record on pause and come back when we see more progress. All right, so we did there's the buy and the sell, where I entered, where I exited. Trade did work out, made $7,500. That's pretty good. It's not bad. See, due to the volatility of the NASDAQ, you can pump out a decent profit if you make a good trade. And looks like, it's still kind of very neutral buying and the buying here, but it does look like, maybe price will go up to this area of resistance. We gotta watch. For now, I mean, normally I'm done for the trading day. Call it quits. I mean, it's like this trade worked out, but I can't say I'm super happy about this trade because it did not fit my criteria of where I'm more confident of a trade. But, profit is profit. So in that sense, it's good. But I think I will wait around a little more and see if we get another setup. So I'll put the record on pause. So I want to provide some commentary now. I'm still watching the market because, sometimes maybe people will look at this. Okay, so we got 313, and that's a lot of demand, right? But the amount of buying here is kind of minimal. It's flatlined. The demand does not coincide with the buying. And this is pretty weak too. I mean, there's still a, I would say, long bias here. It just doesn't look that good or that strong, you know. Perhaps price will still edge a little bit up, maybe, unless we see a change in behavior. So it's like when you see this sort of formation, you see like strong demand, a low amount of buying. It's not strong for a long position. So I'd probably do nothing right now. So I'll put the record on pause again. All right, so we're back, and about almost an hour has elapsed. And now I'm getting more excited because of this. But it's a little early to get too excited because we have strong supply here. We are getting some selling. We're getting a crossover into the cumulative delta for the selling. It's not that strong yet. And I just don't have enough points of confluence to do anything yet. But this is definitely, this minus 377 is definitely a change in behavior, right? It's stronger than this initial supply here, right at the market open. But this is, a couple hours later, so the market is less volatile 2 hours after the market open. But this is a strong amount of supply here. And the other thing is that, remember I said the market maybe going to go a little bit more up, not because I tell the future, it just looked that way to me. But what's really interesting here is at the 210 here, do you see that our buying has totally dried up? We went from here to like here, and this is a higher high. So this is a divergence. We have a higher high, we have less buying, and we have less demand. Demand is 210, here is 313, so we have less demand, less buying on a higher high, right? So this is kind of like the pattern I like to see. I'm beginning to see exhaustion of buying and supply coming in. We're getting a double algo here. I mean, that could be the only thing I don't like is that I'm not seeing, there is some expansion in selling here. There's a tiny bit of expansion. So, I mean, I'd like to see more. Sometimes if you wait, then it's too late. But I just don't want to be tricked out due to this, horizontal movement here. Maybe I'll wait, see what happens as we break this swing. Looking at the selling here. All right, it looks like we're getting some confidence here. That's a second strong control. That's a strong control. Looks like we're expanding. I'm in. All right, I need to figure out where am I putting stops. I'll put it above this swing and got to figure out. I'll just put it out of the way for now. Okay, this is exciting. So I saw this start to expand, the selling, so that gives me more confidence because we had the supply minus 377. We had a double algo pullback with the sell imbalance, right? If we look at this whole chart here, this is the first double algo with the sell imbalance we've had going short, right? We had here sell imbalance, but here we had also the pullback. And now it looks we're expanding even more. The X pace of the bids is growing. So this is like a much more comfortable setup for me than the one I took earlier in the day. From here to here, like this setup to me seems a lot stronger. What are possible? So I put my stop up there. We're ready in profits. What are possible take profit? Like coming back here, maybe it'll happen, but that's a huge run, and for the amount that I've risked, I don't know, maybe more logical to come back to this area, this previous level of support. Plus, that gives me a huge return. 1, 2, 3. That's like over 4 reward to the risk. So I'll keep it there for now. And if it does get there, I'll be tickled and pleased. All right, so there's never any guarantee trade's going to work out, but this right here, this setup is more in line with my gold standard. I think I've explained why. All right, so I'll put the record on pause and let's see how this trade pans out. All right. Indeed, we have hit our profit and we have a monster gain today. First trade was 7.5 grand. Second trade, it's like 18 something, almost 19,000. Total gain $26,000 for the day. Monster trade, worked out fantastically. Saw this setup and we just rode down. I was even thinking moving the stop even further down, but it's already a huge gain for me today. And in fact, I'm probably not even going to trade the rest of the week. I'll let the election pan out, and I don't know, maybe I will, but this is more than enough gain for the week where I could just take the rest of the week off and it'd be fine. Sometimes you don't want to overtrade. But anyway, so we entered here, we exited here at this previous support level. We hit another double algo, Stooges, and a minus 43. This could have been a potential point to do an add-on. I just didn't do one since there was already a lot of money on the table. In retrospect, I probably should have. We had expansion of supply here, 377 to minus 449, expansion of selling in the histogram, expansion of selling in the cumulative delta. And if we zoom out, we see that the selling has surpassed that of the open and that it is prolonged. Like this was a quickie, this is a more of a prolonged movement, which means, you know, it's like a train. There's steam behind this movement. I would be probably, if I was still in the trade, I'd be watching. It looks like it's, you know, maybe flatlining for now, like this and like this. So that was a good exit. I don't know, I'd still say maybe it's, you know, there's still movement on the down, but we don't know. This was a huge X pace of bids. And very pleased with the trade. Now this I'm satisfied with because pretty much everything lined up the way I typically take trades. This was more of a risk. This was like a, you know, flipping a coin almost with a little bit of edge for the long trade. But I'm actually curious to see how this pans out. So I'm going to put the record on pause and give it another half hour and see if I can provide additional commentary, but I'm done trading. All right, so, you know, sometimes I am even dumbfounded at my own algorithms and indicators, how well they do the job at showing what's going on. Here we have a classic. There's another change in behavior in the works here. And I think if I was still trading for the day, I would potentially take a long position here. I don't know how strong it'll go, but potentially I see this as a long trade here. Went from minus 559 to minus 294. So what happened? We have a contraction of supply. Overall selling is contracting as well. We can see that. Right? We got a huge buy-in imbalance, plus 168. I mean, that's huge. Look at this 168 compared to a 122 up wave. This is a down wave, 168. So that gives credence to a long trade right here. Like, this is very unique, right? If you got to always be comparing waves and seeing what stands out. This stands out big time. It's a down wave with 168, which is more demand than on this up wave. Plus, we got a huge total control of the offers. You know, I don't know how much buying is going to come in, but this at least gives credence to some kind of up move. And we've also got, look at this, X pace offers. This is also changing behavior in the X pace. And now we're gaining a switch over in the cumulative delta. This is starting to look like, you know, a tradable setup. But I'm done trading for the day. The other thing I wanted to point out, I think I skipped this, but there was, you know, we had on this down move, we had the total control of the bids here and here. So it's a total change in behavior. Whereas, look at this, we had big, like total, and this is pretty conflicting, right? I'd like to look at that. So when you see like these whiplashes, probably best to stay out of the trade. And, you know, the histograms were going horizontal anyway. Anyway, so that's it for me for today, and I'm going to get back to doing more live trade videos because that's what I do best anyway. And I hope you guys all enjoyed this video, and congratulate everyone for the upcoming election. Either way it goes, it's going to be very interesting. And I'll catch you next time.